We'll chant Om 3 times, followed by the invocation shlokas. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Samasta Jana Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram. Hari Om. Good evening. Inaji, welcome back.
Thank you, Hari Om.
So we are studying chapter 3 of Bhagavad Gita, Karma Yoga. Now, what we were seeing was that the importance of Karma Yoga, and Bhagavan Krishna says that this Karma Yoga must be performed by everyone, and we just saw the cycle of karma, right? Annad bhavati bhutani pajjana dana sambhaval, like that. So there, where the food comes from, because of food, all jivas exist, and the food comes from rain. Rain comes from yajna, and yajna happens because of karma. That is something that we have seen in detail. Then, basically, like if whoever doesn't participate in this cycle of karma, they are as if they are stealing, and they are like, they're sinners. Now, there was one exception where someone need not participate in this circle. Who was that? That is a Jnani. Right? Why? Because that Jnani doesn't have any jivatva bhavana, so there's no jivatva remained in that Jnani. Because of that, there's nothing such as what needs to be done, what doesn't need to be done. All of that don't matter to such people. Now what is Bhagavan? Who is Bhagavan talking to? Arjuna. And when Bhagavan is talking to Arjuna, now Arjuna's point of view in the beginning of this chapter is that I don't want to do karma, you are making me do karma. Okay, you're talking about Jnana Yoga and Karma Yoga, but why are you asking me to, pushing me to Jnana Marga, right? So right in the beginning of the chapter, Bhagavan said that there are it's a twofold path. One is Karma Marga, other is Jnana Marga. It is not two different paths, but twofold path where depending upon your level of maturity, you do either karma or jnana. Now, I remember like in chapter 2, what happened was the last section of chapter 2, there was Sita Prajna uh, description was given, right? Who is Sita Prajna, etc. About 18 shlokas were given, described about the nature of Sita Prajna. When that happened, that is why Arjuna got excited about going into Jnana Marga directly. Now, here in this 18th verse, when Bhagwan talked about the nature of Jnani and how he is exception to performing these karmas, then there is a chance that Arjuna or we ourselves mistake ourselves to be Jnani and we claim exemption for ourselves, yeah, going on in this path. So that notion has to be corrected. So that correction is being done in the next shloka, 19th verse. Okay, so that is something that we're going to look now. Okay, I'm going to break down the words from the 19th verse and then we will chant. Tasmad asaktaha. So that is the two words in there. Tasmad and asaktaha. Satatam karyam karma samachara. Asakto. Actually, that is asaktaha. But with the sandhi with the next word, it becomes asakto. Acharan karma. That is actually he acharan and karma. He acharan karma. Three words put together. He and acharan becomes ya. Acharan and karma. Paramapnoti. Param and apnoti together. Paramapnoti purushaha. So this is the breakdown of words. So one of you please repeat after me and unmute yourself and repeat after me. Tasmadasakta satatam
तस्मादसततं
karyam karma samachara
कार्यकर्मसमाचर
asakto hyacharan karma
असक्तो याचरणकर्म
paramapnoti purushaha.
परमाप्नोति पुरुषः.
So here Bhagavan starts telling Tasmat. Tasmat means therefore. Be careful. So that means what? Yeah, don't get confused. Okay. Asaktaha. Asaktaha satatam. So satatam means always. Asaktaha. Asaktaha means no interest. No interest means like not like I don't care, that not that attitude, but being detached. Okay, so stay detached all the time. So stay detached all the time. We'll understand like a little bit more about what is staying detached in a second is karyam karma samachara. So when do we need to be detached? When should I be detached? Is karyam karma samachara. So that means whenever I'm performing an action, I must detach myself. So this is where the detachment aspect is coming. So that means what? If I'm performing an action and I'm going to be detached, what does that mean? That means I must be detached from the
Results of
results of the action, fruits. So that means what? Karma yoga. Okay, so we must perform and in karma yoga, it is primarily about duty. So that means that we must perform our duty properly. And now, if Bhagavan is saying this, what does that mean? Arjuna, you don't come under the category of the jnanis I just talked about. So, Lord Krishna is bringing Arjuna back to earth in case if, Arjuna is identifying himself with such a jnani. Arjuna may or may not be thinking, but no, this teaching has been given 5,000 years ago by Lord Krishna. And since then, so many of us are studying Bhagavad Gita. So it could be, if not for Arjuna, there could be someone else like us who may be thinking that I am exempt. So Bhagavan is saying, no, no, no. Okay. So what we are at this time, at this moment, what we can call ourselves as at the most mumukshu. Okay, mumukshu means a seeker who is trying to gain this liberation. Even in mumukshu atvam also, there are several levels. Okay, tivra mumukshutvam. Tivra mumukshutvam means it is a burning desire for liberation, where it is said that when someone is on fire and their hair, okay, already caught fire, okay, hair already caught fire, that means how long does it take for that fire to start hurting the skin? Very soon. At that time, what are they looking for? They're looking for water to to dip their head into that water. So at that time, they are not looking at if this is good water or bad water. Okay, they are not looking at, hey, by the way, look who is walking on the street. Let me go say hi to them or anything like that. There is no disturbance. There is no distraction. They have a single focus in their mind. Find water source and put my head in water alone. Nothing else. Okay, and that has to be done very fast, very soon, right now. There's an urgency there. When we have that kind of urgency for liberation, that is when it is real, proper mumukshutva. But right, ours is, okay, so, yeah, okay. I like to get. Dekha jayega. We will see if we are good or not. Okay. So maybe we can consider ourselves as manda mumukshu. Okay.
At best.
So
Part-time.
yeah. So where we are still looking to gain chitta shuddhi and chitta ekagrata. So because of that, what I need to do is to gain this chitta shuddhi and chitta ekagrata, I must make special effort to engage in this karma yoga. Samachara is samyak achara is samachara. That means that doing it with perfection. Now, all action must be performed with perfection. So here in this aspect, our teacher, Swami Advainandaji, who taught this, he was reminiscing about how Puja Gurudev was looking at people. Okay, so looking at people was like how he was measuring people when there was interviews at Sandipani Vedanta course. For Vedanta course. So apparently, it used to be that like students who would come to study Vedanta, they used to do homework. Yeah, they used to prepare. They would memorize some portions of Gita, some chapters of Gita or entire Gita, and learn some Sanskritam and come. And here, Puja Gurudev, he wouldn't ask, okay, tell me, do you know the Karmanyavadhikarasya shloka? Can you chant that for me? Or this chant 12th chapter of Gita? No. Rather, apparently what he did, at least this is what Swami Advainandaji saw, was that he gave, if you know, Swami Puja Gurudev, he would write a lot of letters. Oh, everybody would get letters. Say if you wrote a letter to Puja Gurudev, he would always respond. Whether it takes 3 months or 6 months, doesn't matter, but he would respond. Right? So that's how he was. So what he did, was he gave some envelopes and addresses and some stamps. And back then, those stamps wouldn't stick to envelopes, so we also needed gum.
Hmm.
Right? So all of them were given to them and said, "Okay, can you just take care of this?" And his selection used to be on how clean their handwriting and how they placed the stamp, where they placed the stamp on the envelope, etc.
Wow.
So why? Gita can be learnt. Sanskritam can be taught.
Hmm.
However, do we have Shraddha in what you are doing?
Hmm.
Okay. Is that there or not? Do you have that? So the Samyak Achara, doing work with perfection, that is what he would look for, because that is what is needed. So Bhagavan is bringing this Samyak Acharana, okay, Samachara. Okay. So always perform Karma Yoga perfectly. That is the primary essence of uh, this like this shloka, right? And then he says, Asakto hi acharan karma paramapnoti purushaha. So here, Asakto hi acharan means asakta ha hi acharan. So that means when when we perform our action without any detachment, okay, asakta hi acharan karma paramapnoti purushaha. Paramam. Okay, so we will attain only by karma yoga alone. It will eventually reach, we will attain moksha. Okay, so that is the idea. So how are we going to do the uh, perform this karma yoga without any asakti is understand that we are instrument in Bhagwan's hand. We are neither karta nor bhokta, because I am not neither the doer or enjoyer, and this needed to be done. I should perform this action without attachment to results and free from likes and dislikes. So this is the qualification only. Okay. So just by karma yoga alone, we won't get moksha. Karma yoga will make someone fit for jnana. Okay. So
So buried underneath this asakti, rahitam asakta is the you know um, to be detached. Rasanga perhaps is only possible when your expectations have been tamed down, and that's what your point about raga dvesha. As
yeah.
long as you have raga dvesha, your expectations, and therefore
Mhm.
you can't remain a sangha or asakti rahit.
Yeah. So because what happens is that the moment we have raga dvesha, we cannot do with asakti. Asakti.
Mm.
Okay, because instead we'll have asakti, interest, because when we are performing an action that we like, we're expecting a result. Okay, why do I perform? Why do I like to do something? Because I know that I'll get a favorable result that I enjoy. Why do I dislike? Because I know that a result may not be favorable to me. Okay, whether the result is right or not, it doesn't matter. It is not favorable to me. I don't have any pleasure, personal pleasure in that result. So that's why I don't want to do. So that is where the raga dvesha will stop me doing from right thing. Because yeah, there is a channel, right? WIAFM. Okay. So we need to tune out that channel. Okay, so that's uh, like 102.5 FM, 102.5 FM, 98.5, like that, right? So do you know about FM channel called WIFM?
I know WEI, but I mean WBUR. I know, of course, all the you know. Um,
It's called What Is In It For Me.
oh, what's in it for? Oh,
Okay, so,
yeah.
so we need to.
WI. That's clever.
Yeah.
That's clever.
So this channel is always turned on in our back of our head. Anytime we do some action, anytime when we do something, this question would be always there in back of our mind. What do I get out of it? What is in it for me? So when we have that, asakti is there, likes and dislikes are there. So that has to be turned off. Okay, so that's what that's what I meant. Okay.
So,
So
so when we talk about the karyam or the kartavya,
mhm,
first of all, it's the vihit karma enjoined by the shastra. That's number one, right?
yeah,
Number two, that it's implied that it's the nishkam karma,
yes.
because as you mentioned, to be asaktaha, you need to be
Mhm,
devoid of raga dvesha,
mhm.
and in a way, it's a circle. It's the nishkam karma that results in antakaran shuddhi and chitta nigraha, as you mentioned, ekagrata. And so only when you have the chitta shuddhi is when you are devoid of, when you can minimize the raga dvesha.
So what happens is that, okay, so you must perform the karyam that is, which is your duty. See, all nishkama karma doesn't necessarily mean that it is your duty,
Mm, mm,
right? So, see, what happens is, uh, you need to clean your toilet.
mm.
Okay.
Mahatma Gandhi, yes.
Okay. So now the thing is that you may like cleaning your toilets, you may dislike cleaning your toilet. However, it has to be done. Okay, on a periodic basis. You may not clean your toilet every day, but maybe every other Sunday or something like that, or every once in a month, sometime, whatever that period is, you
Because,
are responsible to clean your own toilet. Now, when you are doing it, it is your duty only. So at that time, the likes or dislikes have no play in there. You will do. Now, when you're doing that, I mean, like, even if you like it, you're doing it. Even if you hate it, you're doing it. So
mhm, mm,
that is a responsibility, because it's a responsibility. That is a duty, number one. Second aspect is when you're doing it. So what is happening is by doing this, when you're performing your duty, the scope for your likes and dislikes are diminished.
mm,
Okay. Now, whereas, say for example, you want to eat out today. Now, when you want to eat out, how many options are there? And where are you likely to eat? Suddenly, you have Indian food as an option, Chinese, Thai, Vietnamese, or Italian, Mexican,
mm.
subs, right? Delhi. So many options are there. So now, which one are you going to choose?
One you like.
The one that you like. So there, what is happening is that when you're performing an action which is not your duty, they're predominantly chosen by based on your likes and dislikes. But when you're doing your duties, likes and dislikes go into back burner. So that's why the duty must be. So that's why Bhagavan says that duty is more important. When you're performing duty, you're rising above your likes and dislikes. Now, when you're doing that, put away the expectations, the results, etc., and understand that this is something that has to be done, and this body, mind, and intellect is just an instrument of Bhagwan, and it is performing the action. Have that kind of an attitude. That is what Bhagwan is saying.
Of course. It's a lot packed in this, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So in our in our Shastra, we say Dharmika karma yoga will lead to dharma. Okay, so that means when you perform karma yoga, of course, karma yoga itself is dharmika, but because it is dharmika, okay, it is based on dharma, right? Because you're doing your swadharma only. So then it will lead to dharma. And dharmena papam apanudati. That's what it is said. So that means what? Dharma usually, when you perform dharma, it will give you sukha prapti. One is that when you do the right thing, you'll get the right result. Okay, that is one way of one aspect of getting sukha. Now the other thing is that even sometimes you may not get right result, even if you did right thing. Okay, or something that is you might have got a result that is not conducive for you personally. Even then, what happened is that you have a feeling that I had done the right thing. So there's a mental sukha, manasika sukha is there. Okay, so dharma automatically translates to sukha, performance of dharma. Now, it is possible that someone doesn't have desire for sukha. In that case, what happens is that dharma will remove the papam in us, the sins in us. Okay. So again, to perform this karma according to dharma, our intention is very important. Our intention is going to determine whether we are doing papa or punya as part of karma. Karma itself doesn't have papa or punya. The intention behind karma is the one that decides punya or papa. So now this dharma, if you do it properly, the karma yoga, then is going to remove our papam. Now when papa is removed, what happens is jnanam utpadyate pumsan papasya karmena. So that means when papakshaya, meaning remover of papa, is done through dharma, what happens is that will lead us to jnana. And jnanat evatu kaivalyam. And that jnana will lead us to kaivalyam or moksha. Okay. So what is the starting point? We will start with dharmika karma yoga, and that will remove papam, and papakshaya will lead to jnanam, and jnanam will lead to moksha. So then now what happened is that these points are elaborated in the next shloka.
So just clarifying question, that's what they meant by the second, the fourth portion of this sloka 19, Paramapnoti Purusha. So Asakto Yacharat Karma.
Asakta hi acharan karma paramapnoti purushah.
Yeah. So when you do this karma with Asakti Rahit, as you mentioned, that will do Papakshaya, which will lead to Jnana, and then that's Apnoti Param Purusha.
Yeah.
Param Purusha Apnoti.
Yeah. Parama apnoti. Yeah. Purushah.
Yeah.
Okay. So I said asakta. It is asakta. Sorry. Okay.
So that's a moksha.
That is moksha. Yes.
Yeah.
Then the next shloka, 20th shloka, karmaneva. So this is karmana eva. Okay. Karmana eva is karmaneva hi samsiddhi mastitha. So that there are two words in there. Samsiddhim asthitaha. Okay, together samsiddhim asthita janakadayaha. Okay. Janaka and adayaha. Together janakadayaha. Loka sangraha mevapi loka sangraham eva api. Four words are there. Loka sangraham eva api. Together becomes loka sangraham evapi. Sampashyan kartumarhasi. There are three words in there. Sampashyan kartum arhasi. Together it becomes sampashyan kartum arhasi. So, one of you please repeat after me. Karmanaiva hi samsiddhim. So, karmaneva hi samsiddhim.
कर्मणैव हि संसिद्धिम्
आस्थिता जनकादयः
आस्थिता जनकादयः
लोकसङ्ग्रहमेवापि
लोकसङ्ग्रहमेवापि
सम्पश्यन् कर्तुमर्हसि.
सम्पश्यन् कर्तुमर्हसि.
So in one of the previous shlokas, but we saw a couple of weeks ago, is that Bhagavan is saying, Brahmaji, when he created the universe, Prajapati, he created the Kalpa, Taru, etc. And he said, through this, support yourself. Okay, I mean, like support each other, and through this, everyone get elevated and get moksha. That's what we saw. Why did he say is that Brahmaji is the forefather for all of us. Now, sometimes what happens is his forefather that is so far. Okay. So I don't really connect with him. Now, Arjuna is a king. Okay, or a prince. He's not a king yet, he's a prince. So there should be some kind of a relation should be established. A relationship should be established. Okay. See what happens when Microsoft was founded by Bill Gates. Bill Gates found Microsoft. Yeah. Or Bill Gates is the CEO of Microsoft. Yeah, okay. I mean, nice, but doesn't matter. Then, after Bill Gates, I think Stephen Ballmer or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay. He became CEO. Okay. Great. Then came Satya Nadella. Suddenly that like Satya Nadella. Indian. Okay? Our guy.
Yeah.
Sundar Pichai, Google, yes, Indian.
Yeah.
Right. So suddenly what happened is that a personal connection is made, even though I don't know Satya Nadella personally, he doesn't know me, right? There is a personal feeling. Why? We both came from same country, same region, something like that, right? So here, so a little extra bonding has happened. So that kind of a bonding is being established by taking the example of Janaka. Okay? So here, so Janakadayaha. Janakadayaha means Adi means starting with. Okay? Adayaha means etc. Okay? So that means Janakadayaha means great kings like Janaka. So that means there are other great kings also other than Janaka. Okay? And all of these Janakas are, the overall message of this shloka is that, see, kings like Janaka, etc., they have performed Karma Yoga and they have attained moksha. Okay, that's the essence. So there's a lot more, we'll discuss that. So now that Janakadayaha, there are some examples given. Now the thing is that Janaka is a king, now the name of Janaka comes in multiple places. Okay, so in Yajurveda also, King Janaka's name comes quite a bit. Now, Sitaji's father is also Janaka.
Mm.
Now, it is said that Janaka has taught Shuka Maharshi. Shuka Maharshi is son of Vedavyasa.
Oh.
So, which means that Janaka is a name, yes, but it is also a title.
Mm.
A title to who? Title to whoever have ruled that particular kingdom, Mithila. Okay, so Mother Sita Devi came from Mithila, right? That's why she become because she is from Mithila. One of her names is Maithili. Okay, and because she is daughter of Janaka, she is
Janaki.
Janaki, right? So now this Janaka, so that lineage of kings, Janakas, they are uh, they are from Mithila, and now they whether it is a father of Mother Sita Devi or the ones who is referenced in Yajurveda or the one who taught because see the thing is that Sita Devi and Rama, they are from Treta Yuga. Shuka Maharshi, who is son of Vedavyasa, he is from Dwapar Yuga. So now the same Janaka cannot be in both yugas, across yugas, right? So these are like all the kings. What happened is that they all of them are that lineage of Janaka kings are realized kings, realized masters.
Mm.
In fact, the knowledge of Upanishads was originally owned by Kshatriyas, Rajas, not Brahmanas.
Mm. Vedas, yeah. Okay. Mm.
Okay. And it so happened that Brahmanas would go to Raja and that Raja would teach the secrets of Upanishads to them. That is how it was there originally. In fact, there was one Upanishad where a king teaches, I'm unable to recall which one, but there is a Upanishad where a king teaches a Brahmana. Okay, and that's how the knowledge has been imparted from kings to priests. To Brahmanas, and then that knowledge stayed with them. Okay, so this what happened is that when this Janaka was a uh, in Janaka was a student of Yajnavalkya, I think. Yeah. Okay. So it so happened that when he used to come to classes, and as soon as he comes, the teacher would start teaching the lesson. Okay. Now it so happened one day, I mean, not one day, the students are observing all of this, and they had the other students, and they're feeling a little bit jealous about Janaka, okay, and their own teacher, saying, this, this guy is a king. Because he's king, our teacher even would wait like 3 minutes in case if he ever comes late, and as soon as he comes, he starts teaching. This is somewhat partiality. Okay, why? Because it's all the power of money. Okay, that's how there's a murmur, so those murmurs started. Okay, now when that obviously like the teacher is a great Mahatma. So one day the Janaka came, sat in the class. Of course, other students are also sitting, and one student rushed. I mean, like from like from outside and quickly yelled, "Hey, master, Mithila city is on fire. Mithila city is on fire." Then all the students started running out to save their belongings. And these students, what do they have who are staying in the ashram? Okay, like two or three kaupinas and some measly things. Janaka Maharaja, who was the ruler of the entire kingdom, Mithila, he did not move at all, and his focus was totally on teacher and what teacher was teaching him. And when that happened, obviously there was no fire. It was a ruse created by the teacher to show the students what they value most. Here are you with little bit, some measly earthly belongings, and you guys ran away from the teaching just because you heard a rumor. And here, when if Mithila Nagara burns, this king is going to be the biggest loser. And he has no change of expression or anything like that. His focus was completely on this teaching. So naturally, he is the fittest student and he deserves little extra.
Yeah.
Right. And in fact, there's also another story about Janaka that we see is with Ashtavakra. Okay. Now, Ashtavakra Janaka, you have like in Ashtavakra GIta, Ashtavakra and Janaka, both of them where Ashtavakra teaches Janaka. But also, the thing is that Janaka Maharaj himself is a great mumukshu and a great, like almost realized person, right? So it so happened that Ashtavakra's father sends Ashtavakra to Janaka to learn.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah, I think it is Ashtavakra. Okay. So I need to double check. Okay. If the student is incorrect, I'll let you know next week. Okay. But then now this student, he is a little bit, I mean, like he's very knowledgeable student. And he also has got a little bit disregard for this king. Arey, I am a total renunciate. I come from the lineage of great gurus, great masters. He is a bhogi, this Janaka. What is he going to teach me? Now, but anyway, my dad has told me to do like learn from him, so I go. Okay, so I'll go there. And he approached Janaka's palace. As soon as Janaka heard about it, he immediately welcomed the Guru Putra, okay, his guru's student, son, and washed his feet, brought him inside, asked him to get, get comfortable, and a very good lunch was prepared for the student. Think about like a very good buffet or whatever, right? I mean, whichever, the best buffet you can imagine. Okay, all of them are being served. Now, when with the place where he was sitting, he was seated, he looked up, and there on top there's a big boulder. Okay, and that boulder is tied with a rope, and that rope was weak.
It was frayed, yeah.
Okay, and it is likely to fall down at any second. Now, Janaka himself started feeding, as in serving this student and saying, please have these vegetables we got from Ayodhya that far. Okay, normally these don't grow in Mithila. Okay, and I'm so lucky that these vegetables from Ayodhya are here on the day you came. So please try this. Okay. This particular sabji, I know, when I was in Gurukul and when you are young, okay, you used to like this, so I got this made for you. Like that, he was giving food, serving different things, etc. And the student is looking up, down, up, down. And finally, the meal was over. And then they were sitting together. Okay, so
Yeah.
and then the teacher, Janaka, asked, "How was the food? How did it taste?" What taste? I was looking there. I don't know what is served, what is not served. Right? So, I mean, the thing is that the student understood that, just like that can fall at any time. When your vision is there, whatever in front of you, whether something has got extra salt or no salt,
Yes.
whether something is tasty or tasteless, burnt or burnt food or not, none of that matters because your vision is there. So no matter what situation you are in, whether you are a king or a beggar, what responsibilities you have, as long as your drishti, your focus is on Bhagwan, all of this don't matter. Okay? So these are some of the legends or anecdotes around Janaka. Okay? So that Janaka, okay, we are talking about here. Okay. Now, Janakadayaha, when Janakadayaha is given, the term Janakadayaha is given, please don't think Janaka alone is like that and nobody else. Okay. Apparently, Kaikeyi's father, Kaikeyi is Rama's, Dashratha's third wife, and father name was Ashwapati. He was also a realized master. Okay, and Bhagiratha. Okay, you heard the name Bhagiratha?
Yeah,
Because of him, he brought
Gangaji.
the
Gangaji, he brought Gangaji.
Ganga from Kailasa, Akasha to Kailasa to Earth. Okay, and the amount of effort he has put through to bring that. Okay, and he's also a realized master. Okay, so like this, all of these kings, what they did is that karmana evahi. Okay, so they have given primary importance to karma alone. Okay, that means they were totally dedicated in performance of karma yoga. And with that, what did they do? Samsiddhim karmana, samsiddhim astitaha. So Janakadiha samsiddhim karmana eva astitaha. So that means by performing karma yoga alone, they attained samsiddhi. I mean, they attained liberation. So that means that like this shloka can be interpreted in two ways. One is that while performing karma yoga, they attained liberation is one meaning. And there's the other interpretation, which is they have attained samsiddhim. Janakadiha samsiddhim. Okay, samsiddhim means after attaining samsiddhim, meaning after attaining the Jivan Mukti, karmana eva astitaha. So that means they still continued performing karma yoga. Why? I mean, this interpretation, both interpretations are correct, but this is more correct. Why? Because of the next line. Okay. Loka sangrahamevapi sampashyan kartumarhasi. So why did they stick to because see, like in the last shloka that we studied last session, It said that we don't need to perform any, I mean, like, not we, but a Jnani doesn't need to perform anything. Okay? He's exempt from karma yoga, karma, performing any karmas, etc. Still, then these people have attained moksha or the Jivan Mukti. So, why are they doing this karma yoga? Because loka sangrahame pi sampasyan kartumarhasi. So that means when a person is renowned in the society, he got additional responsibilities. Why? You are in public spotlight and you set up the standard of life for everybody around you. Okay. So we call them as Shrestha Purushas, meaning reputable people. So usually whatever they do, it becomes standard. It becomes Shastras. Like people have got so they have the responsibility to ensure Loka Sangraha or the welfare of the world. So now Sangraha means collecting or holding. For example, Artha Sangraha means collection of wealth, and Jnana Sangraha means collection of knowledge, like that. Right? So sometimes some textbooks also will have the Sangraha as the name. Okay, not just Sangraha, but it will have whatever subject Sangraha, like that. Okay, so here Loka Sangraha means for the collect, all the people are held to a standard, and these people have to take them in the right direction. And how do you take them to the right direction? By leading by example. So now, why is Bhagavan talking about this way? Janaka, etc., they have performed this karma yoga even after gaining liberation because of Loka Sangraha. Because Arjuna, you may not be a Jnani, but you are a famous personality. Okay? You are the one of the primary, one of the leading prince of Pandavas. Now people are looking at you, and several people want to follow like you, be like you. Okay? They want to be strong like you. They want to follow your lead, because even among Pandavas, Arjuna was Bhima has got more power, Dharmaraja has got more, like knowledge, all of that. But Arjuna, he has performed during the Vanavasa time, like when he was in forest, etc. He did not waste time just sitting idly. Instead, he went and did tapas and gained Pashpatastra from Lord Shiva himself. Okay. So, such a role model he is. And if you leave this battlefield, other soldiers also will follow you, and it is going to be the way in the future. So, you should set proper standards to ensure that your followers, your admirers follow you. Okay. So, that now, how are you going to ensure that others will follow? By leading by example. So, not by saying things. So, for example, like Puja Gurudev used to say, values are not taught, they are caught. So, with respect to primarily, with respect to children. So, that means if we tell our children, beta, you should not lie, but in his presence, we are lying, and the child knows, they won't care about telling the truth anymore. They follow whatever their parents are doing. If I don't know, like in our childhood, what we used to do whenever we are playing, we didn't have too many toys or something, right? And as soon as like it is our time to act like a big man, I mean, like as in a play, right? We like, we would say, why? Because in those days, smoking is glorified pretty much everywhere. In all movies, all heroes would be smoking, everything. Okay, so I also like smoking. Okay, so even though we take a pencil or something like that and hold it, and then we used to do that. Do you remember those kind of things?
Yeah.
Okay, so who taught us that? Nobody taught us to smoke or something like that, but we caught that. I mean, luckily, uh, we didn't smoke, but that is how we started. Like we were practicing what we were seeing. So you are the like a famous Purusha. So, so actually, in this case, like there's a definition for Acharya. Acharya is Achinoti Shastrartham Acharye Sthapayajati Swayam Acharate Yatya Tam Acharyam Pravakshate. So this is a definition for Acharya. So what it means is that Achinoti Shastrartha means one who is able to go through Shastras and absorb whatever Shastras have said. That is part of it. Now, that alone is so like many of the time like in like most of the time we think that, oh, as soon as I understood what this subject is, I have become acharya. No. Not that is only part of it. The second part, what is that? Acharya sthapayatyapi. So that means you need to also help student establish in the knowledge. It is not just you gain the knowledge. Okay, I can teach too. That's also great. No, there's a third aspect. What is that? Swayam acharate yatya. That means you should be established in that knowledge. So it's not just absorbing the knowledge, but you should be established in the knowledge and help student also establish in that knowledge. Establishing in that knowledge means you should abide in that knowledge. Means like you have to, whatever that knowledge has said, you have to follow that. You have to practice that. Acharana also must be there. Okay. When that acharana is there of that shastra, that is when you become acharya. Such a person is called as acharya. So that you are going to no, you're not good. You are a role model for many people. And look at and these Janaka, etc., like, they are kings like you. Okay. They are uh, and look at them and learn from them and perform karma yoga. Now, see, the thing is that Krishna, would have said, things like would say that you're talking about Janaka. He is king of Mithila. He already has kingdom. I am fighting for kingdom. I don't have a kingdom. Your comparison is not right. Okay. And you are saying that, oh, I am a role model. He could be a role model. I'm not a role model. I don't even have a kingdom. Like you are just me because you want to make a point. You are suddenly making me as an important person. No. Not like that. Okay, so that kind of a thought may come in Arjuna or might not have come in Arjuna's mind. But uh, in one of the Gita, what called like in one of the shlokas of like in Gita Dhyanam, Sarvopanishado Gavo Dogdha Gopalananda Partho Sudhir Bhokta, like that. There's so all Upanishads are uh, like cows, and Bhagwan Krishna has milked, and when he milked them, when you need milk from cow, what you need to do is that you need to send the calf first. Okay. And when calf comes to the mother, the cow will give the milk. And then first calf drinks the milk, and the rest of the milk is taken and distributed to others. Bhagavad Gita is also like that. Arjuna is a one student, Nimitta Matra, but there are so many other students. So that is why Bhagwan Krishna, Lord Krishna is called as Jagat Guru. Krishna Vande Jagat Guru, we say, right? So Arjuna may not get this kind of a question. We might get that kind of a question, or someone before us or after us who is studying the scripture, after a while, may get that question, and that question also need to be addressed. That question is addressed in the next shloka that we will see in the next session.
Excellent.
So we'll pause here and see if you have any closing questions or comments.
So the two meanings that you mentioned, the one is stated here, that the Janaka, etc., who have achieved moksha through karma, is doing the karma for the benefit welfare of the others. That's the one meaning. And I think the other meaning you mentioned that so let's see the so one is a Siddha Purusha, like Janaka is performing karma for the Loka Sangraha.
Yeah. So
And you can also say that you can attain the karma moksha through karma.
so that you can attain moksha through karma means what? That is a karma is the prerequisite for moksha.
Mm.
Okay. Now, think about it simple way, right? Okay, I'll give you example. Someone, you want to learn physics. Now, to learn physics, you have to have math and physics background in high school, math and physics background in undergrad, and then you need to have physics as one of the major subjects in your undergrad, and then maybe you do masters in physics, and then you also have done PhD in physics.
That's great.
Now, you are a physicist, right? Not physician, right? Physicist. Now you are a physicist. What can you do? Majority of the people I have done, like whatever I have learned, I'm going to apply in daily life, and they go to different companies and work as physicists somewhere, etc. Right? The companies are government or whatever, government agencies or private companies, it doesn't matter. Some people, after finishing this physics, study of physics, what they do after getting the PhD, they may do postdoctoral research, etc. And they come back to teach students, etc. Now, of course, I mean, like physicist, as a physicist, I don't know how much pay what pay scales for physicists in industry. I don't know, but in general, for any profession, industry pay versus university pay is lower, right? Yet they come back to teach that subject to learners. So there are two possibilities. Yes, in this particular, because no example is perfect, there is a possibility that they may want, pension and a cushy job and a relaxed job. That may be a possibility. But there's other possibility, which is I want to help more people to learn physics and enjoy the beauty of physics. So that, because see, the thing is that if your mind is not in teaching, all other things don't matter. Okay? When you're doing the teaching job. Okay? So in the same way, now take this example and apply to this one also, right? So when a Mahanubhava, a seeker becomes a mumukshu becomes a Jnani, he can revel in that jnana and he can be done. But sometimes these jnanis may feel the need or necessity to impart this knowledge to other people. So they come back to the society and teach. How is the teaching done? Okay. People may, like last week we were talking about it, some people may sit. Like Ramana Maharshi ji, in his ashram, and people from all over the world come to him and get knowledge from him. Some people like some Chinmayananda ji, they may go all over the world and teach. Okay. Some people may decide to continue whatever they are doing before and show how things need to be done. Okay. So this Janaka, etc., Janaka Maharaj, etc., they are in a position of being a king. They are rulers who has perfect vision, and they are leading the kingdom. I mean, they are ruling the kingdom with such a perfect vision that all their subjects, I mean, like the kingdom is prospering very well, and they are like, when you see a king who is realized and who is epitome of perfection, automatically you will want to emulate them. Okay? We are not talking about modern kings or modern presidents or prime ministers. Rather, we're talking about those great Mahatmas, so who are worthy of emulation. Okay. So, and why are they doing it? Okay. It is not because they love their kingdom and they want to hold on to the power. No. Okay. So for a Jnani, power is immaterial. Okay. For a Jnani, a sukham or dukkham is immaterial. That is something that we have seen with the example of the story we just talked about, right? With a big stone on top of the thing. Okay. So where uh, like because their vision is not around us, but their vision is on Brahman, and they're treating everybody as Brahman, and with that attitude, they are feeling that, okay, I'm just an instrument that is here to take care of the rest of the things around me. So when that attitude is there, it is getting like in huge results, best results, good results are coming out, and that is beneficial, and people are learning, and everybody is there's a more desire for or to perform dharmic action, to do right things, and be more interested in higher things in life. All of those things are happening, so you also be like that. So that is the primary goal in giving this example.
Good. Thank you.
So we'll conclude.
Yeah.
पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ओम Thank you all.
Hari Om.
Thank you.